Breaking news in a story as ethically explosive as they come. A 13-year-old Minnesota boy is missing tonight. His name is Daniel Hauser, and he's believed to be on the run with his mother. A judge today issued a warrant for her arrest. The same judge has ruled that Daniel is a victim of medical neglect by his parents. Daniel has cancer. Doctors say his time is running out, that without the treatments they prescribed, Daniel will die. For months, Daniel and his parents have refused those treatments. They've said chemotherapy and radiation are poisons that go against their religious beliefs. Remember, Daniel is 13, a minor. Tonight, a new twist. The Associated Press reporting that Daniel's father has changed his mind and now agrees his son needs to be reevaluated by a doctor. We'll get to the ethics and legal nuances in a moment, but first, Randy Kay has the backstory.
Take a good look at this boy. His name is Daniel Hauser. At just 13 years old, he's on the run, running from court-ordered treatment for his cancer. If the law doesn't find him soon, he could die. Diagnosed in January with Hodgkin's lymphoma, doctors say he likely won't survive without chemotherapy and radiation. But that treatment is why he and his mom were a no-show at a welfare hearing for Daniel, scheduled for this afternoon. Daniel and his family were supposed to bring the results of his latest chest x-ray to court, but only the boy's father showed up. He told the judge he last saw his wife Monday evening. He said she left her cell phone behind and he doesn't know where they are. A family friend who came to support them was shocked.
This is probably a case of stress upon the family. They're not accustomed to this type of thing, and the courtroom is pretty intimidating to them. They're a close family that sticks pretty much to themselves.
Still, the judge, late today, ordered that Daniel be apprehended and issued an arrest warrant for his mom. This all stems from the family's beliefs. They are Roman Catholic, but follow the beliefs of some Native Americans who only approve of natural healing.
It is our religious freedom and right to do this.
So instead of chemotherapy, Daniel has been treated with herbal supplements, vitamins, and ionized water. This was Daniel on the family farm not long before he disappeared.
I'm feeling really great lately.
But Daniel's doctor said today his cancer has spread significantly. Last week, Daniel's mom testified she didn't believe her son was in any medical danger. But the judge ruled Daniel had been medically neglected and, against his parents' wishes, ordered Daniel to undergo chemotherapy.
We're a simple, honest family. We're not out to harm anybody. This is just our way of life, and why people want to infringe on it, I don't know.
Daniel tried chemotherapy once, but later told the judge he believes it would kill him, and that if anyone tried to force it on him, he'd punch and kick them. The judge ruled Daniel did not understand the treatment's benefits, in part because his reading and writing skills are extremely limited. If and when Daniel is found, the judge ordered he be placed in protective custody so he can get proper medical treatment. Doctors have said Daniel had a 90% chance of survival with that treatment. Without it, they say, there's just a 5% chance he'll survive. Randy Kay, CNN, New York.
So the bottom line for Daniel, 90% chance of survival with the treatment, 5% chance without. Daniel Hauser's story raises some difficult ethical questions and legal ones as well. Chiefly, when is the state obligated to step in to protect a child from parents who believe that they're doing the right thing? Let's dig deeper with senior legal analyst Jeffrey Toobin, and joining us on the phone, medical ethicist Art Kaplan. Jeff, what's the legal precedent for something like this?
There actually are a lot of precedents, mostly involving Christian Scientists, Jehovah's Witnesses, and virtually all the time the court says what this mother is doing, while we sympathize with her pain, this is child abuse. This is the same thing.
She could do it for herself, but it's the fact that she's making that decision for a minor.
Absolutely. This is a minor. He is not qualified to make this decision for himself. This is what it means to be a minor, is other people make your decisions for you, and you are not allowed to make this decision. This is the same thing as if he got hit by a car, blocking the ambulance and letting him bleed to death. I mean, there is no difference, and if need be, they have to take the kid away and strap him down and and apply chemotherapy that way. It's horrible to think of, but I mean, it's
which
life
is now
or death.
what the judge is saying that they want to do. Dr. Kaplan, is this a tough call for you? Clearly not having Art on the phone, we'll try to get him. But in terms of what would the mom be charged with if in fact she's found?
Child neglect, child abuse. It is a form of assault. It's just, you know, you are allowed to believe anything you want, and you are allowed to treat yourself in line with your own beliefs if you are an adult, but you can't impose religious beliefs on a child who has no other options.
Let's see if we have Art Kaplan. Dr. Kaplan, is this a tough call for you?
It's not a tough call for me, Anderson. I agree with Jeffrey. I would add two things. When you compel treatment, it has to be something that's well established and proven. This is. The chemotherapy success rate for the cancer that this boy has, if we can get it going soon, is about 95%. It's very, very good. You wouldn't push as hard if you had an experimental treatment or something that was iffy. Other fact, if you look at the situation with the chemotherapy, the alternative the parents propose is well known to have a success rate of 0. So sometimes you can say, well, you know, the parents propose surgery, we propose chemo, let's go with what they want first. We've got a cure. You've got to move to save this child's life. Parental rights are strong, but they do have a limit when you're basically sacrificing your child for a religious belief that they themselves can't articulate.
Dr. Kaplan, though, it may be tough to actually give this boy treatment. He's saying he's going to kick and refuse, you know, and make it difficult for doctors to put any needles in him. How do you deal with that?
Well, I'll tell you, I've seen these cases. What happens is you've got the dad who's already started to come around and say maybe chemo. They'll work with a psychologist. They will try very hard to bring the boy around. And I will tell you, Anderson, there's a lot of success in sort of swaying people once they understand and see one of their parents start to waver. I've never seen a case where you actually had to strap a child down and sedate them and administer chemotherapy that way. Could happen, but most of the time when parents begin to sort of change their minds and the dad is here, you get the kid to come on too. Art,
are you surprised to hear that maybe the dad is starting to change his mind, or you say that that's what often happens in these cases?
It often happens that way. When you're really up against it and you start to realize the doctors are saying this is the cure and you've got to go with it pretty soon or you're going to miss the opportunity, one or both parents usually begin to waver. One other point, Anderson, you can sometimes get a parent who holds out to work with you, saying you pray, you do the ceremonies, healing ceremonies you want, we'll do the chemo, we can work together. That sometimes brings them around too.
Jeff, if they continue to refuse treatment and this boy dies, God forbid, would the parents be charged?
Well, they could be. Oftentimes, the prosecutors exercise their discretion and say, look, they've lost a child, they've suffered enough. But the point is not to prosecute later. It's to save the kid now. That's the focus of everybody's effort. And what makes this case so excruciating is that you have a real cure here, 90+%, and you have a 0% chance for the others. So as Art was saying, this one is a particularly easy case. Sometimes you have cases where there's only a 10% chance of saving the child, and the parents just want to take the kid home and do hospice care. That's an understandable situation under circumstances. This is not. This is, as far as I'm concerned, just child abuse.
Jeff Toobin, Art Kaplan, appreciate both of you joining us.